This time on Between the Wheels.
Dominic Toretto's story was real, then this would be it.
It's capable of 1,400 horsepower. Bought it off when I was 14, but inevitably he didn't give it to me till I was 29. He said if you would have had that when you're 18, you probably would have wrapped it around a tree. It's a hairy motor.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, all right.
It's supposed to just stay stock. Things kind of snowballed out of control.
This looks like the Generally on steroids.
We wanted to know who was the fastest. So yeah, let's race.
I couldn't afford just to walk out and buy one unless I started dealing meth or something, so I just built the thing myself.
A lot of money spent on cars. Don't want to go there because the wife will have an opinion.
We come from a different era. We were a little bit more rebellious.
This is a strong engine. This thing is fast.
They went to start it up. All hell broke loose.
The whole thing was in bare metal. Never sprayed metal flake a day in my life.
It's powerful enough to get me in trouble.
If they didn't have the rivalry, none of these cars would have existed.
I cannot imagine recreating that time at all.
When it comes to legendary American muscle, nothing is more iconic than the 1968 Dodge Charger, and this one is something else. I'm here with Paul, the owner, who's had it for a very long time. And it's a big part of his life, big part of his history, and I think that the history in the car is just as impressive as the car itself. But what am I looking at here? Because this is intense.
Well, as you said, it's a 68 Charger. It's originally a triple black car. My dad bought it pretty much new. It was a dealer demo that he bought in '69, and he's had it ever since. Now it's my turn. Take it over.
What's really cool about this, you said it now, it's your turn, but you actually bought this car a long time, when you were 14 years old.
Yeah, I did. I bought it from my dad. Worked my ass off cutting grass and shoveling driveways and all that stuff. Bought it off when I was 14, but inevitably he didn't give it to me till I was 29.
And why is that?
Well, he says you're a good mechanic, you got a good job, you got kids, you got a home, you're a responsible adult now. He said if you would have had that when you're 18, you probably would have wrapped it around a tree.
Ain't that the truth? You know, it reminds me of the Fast and Furious. You know, if Dominic Toretto's car and his story was real, then this would be it. Because when I think of the movie, you know, he said he's terrified to drive it. You look at this, you got to be responsible to drive something like this, especially back in the day. So the fact your dad didn't let you drive it, you know, till you were almost 30 years old.
I appreciate it today.
Yeah.
I do appreciate it today. Him holding out.
Yeah.
The motor, it was a factory 383 car. This is a 440 base stroker, 505 cubic inch plus a positive displacement of the Supercharger. So it's 576 cubic inch total. That motor, the only real Chrysler parts to that motor, and I hate to say this to the purist, but the block and the timing cover are really the only two Mopar pieces. Everything else is billet. That motor's built way beyond what it's doing right now for a job. It's capable of 1,400 horsepower if I was to do a swap the fuel to alcohol. I don't want to with this car, it's just fun. Yeah. I know it's built enough that it could be dependable every day.
So how much horsepower would you ballpark it at right now?
Well, when I built it, I was following a motor that CNC Motorsports were building online, and it's pretty close to identical. It's a head difference. Theirs was 836 horsepower. I can't remember at what RPM. So we'll say, I've always told everybody probably 700 conservatively. Yeah. 750 wouldn't be out of the realm. It's a hairy motor.
Yeah. Pretty cool. A big piece of American history at the same time.
That was always my dream, even way before Fast and Furious was even in its inception. That was the intent, was to have it supercharged. And matter of fact, I've had the Supercharger at least 20 years. sitting on various places like the coffee table and using it for an end table, stuff like that. But just something that I always wanted. This one here, and I'm a nostalgic person. This Supercharger came from a man around Kingston, Ontario. His name was Farmer Bill. Bill Day was his name. And I always go back to that nostalgic stuff. Always have.
I think what makes the car special is not what it is, but how it's been put together in terms of which parts and whatnot, and the stories behind it. Because a lot of people, you know, say 68 Charger, it's amazing. It is, but I think the fact that your dad bought it so long ago, and then you bought it at 14 years old, you kept it all these years, and at the same time, this thing actually sat for a long time. It wasn't in this condition even just a few years ago.
No. When my dad got it new, he always bitched that it leaked. It leaked every fluid. At the end of the day, he just parked it in the garage and just left it. It sat there from, I want to say 1972, 73. I bought it in 84, and again, I didn't have it till around the year 2000 when it finally really come out of the garage. So at this point in time, it's got less than 12,000 original miles on it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's crazy because the body is so clean. It has been restored, but all they did, you said, was they changed the quarters. That's about it.
Yeah. I replaced both quarter panels. One had a little bit of rust, but my dad had lost a tire. He took it out in 1983. He was working at a high school in Pontiac, Michigan, and the kids didn't tighten the lug nuts. So he went down the road with it, and he lost a tire, and it buckled the whole driver's side quarter. So that side had no rust, but it was shot. So 2 new skins is the real. All the rest of the body panels are original to the car. Yeah, every panel.
And that's pretty amazing because the thing is, this is a Detroit, Michigan car.
That's right.
This was not a southern car, so it was driven in the winter, essentially. So the fact it's in this shape, it basically makes it as close to a survivor as you can get. Now, obviously, you've done some work, so what else did you do here? You mentioned the vinyl top.
Well, I did about 90% of the work. I had a friend help me do the bottom end of the motor. I did all the metal work on it, except final paint, the bottom of the motor, and rebuilding of the automatic transmission, which the automatic transmission is from a 70 Hemi Cuda. I brought it in. They basically just looked it over, cleaned up the transmission. I made sure they left all the markings and stuff on it. They still got chalk markings on it from the factory. But it's from a 70 Hemi Cuda. You got interesting wheels here. Obviously, you got the Steelies with the dog dish, I guess.
Correct. The dog dish wheels. Now, a lot of people, old school guys, have the screws in, basically. Tell us about the screws.
The screws in the back tires are for back in the day. They didn't have a real good adhesive to basically glue the tire to the rim. Today they do. They're not really warranted, but I love the look, so I drilled the wheel alone and put a screw in there just to have that look. It's not, they're not screwed into the beads like they would have done back in the day, but I just love that look, so I just kept it.
And that's cool. You got the fat tires in the back, and you got the skinny ones in the front. And the cool thing is, you didn't just buy these rims; you actually made them.
Yes, actually, I went to the junkyard, local junkyard, in Picton, Ontario. I bought 4 wheels off a Dodge pickup truck with the proper bolt pattern. I cut the outer hoops off of them, and at the same time, I found 2 front wheels from a Volkswagen Rabbit, 15-inch, that were close to the same diameter. I cut everything off. I went to my buddy's machine shop. I machined the 2 outer pieces, and then I brought it home, bolted it to the axle of the car, and then I just used a dial indicator, stuck it in the ground, and just dialed it out till I got to my 0. And then had my buddy finish burning the wheels in.
That's pretty cool. The fact you made your own rims, I think it's just another personal touch. And there's so many here. I see brackets you've done yourself.
Yeah.
Obviously you assembled all this stuff, and it's not a pristine Charger, but it's a mean Charger. That's what I like about it. This thing's got more character than most cars out you'll ever see on the road. I really like what you've done here, and I think the most impressive thing is just the look in general, because what you've done is you've taken a really old school 80s look, because you built this almost like an 80s muscle car.
Absolutely.
Maybe expand on that.
That was when I was growing up watching these things, so that's just what I wanted it to be.
That's cool. So you picked an era, you stuck with it, and I think the last thing we got to do is we got to take it for a ride, because this is a really impressive
Absolutely.
machine. I'm just dying to go on this. got the kinks out of all my back
That's
here.
just in drive.
That is some torque. Wow.
I'll lean on it.
Wow.
To the boost gauge?
Yeah. Holy.
Pegs around 20, 22.
22 pounds of boost. That's freaking stupid. I feel it though. I've never felt that much torque in my life. That's not screwing around.
No, it's... Sometimes I hurt my back after I do it.
No shit. Holy. Beautiful. You know, there's surprisingly a lot of visibility.
Oh yeah.
I thought you wouldn't see shit, but...
Well, the police in the town beside me, Napanee, my friend has a blown Nova.
Yeah.
And he pulled up to the cops and asked him, says, okay, am I gonna get for driving this? Cops went out, he says, he put his hand on the end of the fender.
Yeah.
The cop did. He said, can you see my fingers? He says, oh yeah, tell me that guy. He says, 2 fingers and a thumb. The cop says, I'm not gonna bug you. Nobody should bug you. He says, that's no different than our police cars having computer screens and guns and everything hanging here. He says, we have less visibility than you do, technically.
Wow. So cool though, man. It's such an honor to be in something like this.
Cool, eh?
Like, you know, you grow up watching Dukes and then you get to drive in something like this, but this is so much more than, you know, Dukes of Hazzard ever was.
Again, movie cars, right?
Movie cars, yeah.
A lot of those little tricks in this motor are like top fuel stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Amazing, man. This is the epitome of American muscle.
Oh,
Right here.
absolutely. Yeah.
Unfriggin' real, Paul. You're a legend, man. You're a friggin' legend.
Well, I learned from the best.
There's really nothing else you got to say after that drive. It speaks for itself.
Go home, clean your drawers.
That's it.
That's it.
All right, Paul, that was insane. It was so crazy.
That's right.
I packed up all my stuff. I was ready to go. Almost didn't give you your hat.
Oh, thank you
Here
very
you
much.
go, sir. Everybody just on the show.
Nice.
Thank you for being on the show. Thank you for giving me the experience of a lifetime. I will never forget that. That was unfreaking believable. And it's so cool to see that the car is as mean as it looks.
Yes.
If not more so, because that was nuts. So, unbelievable. Thank you so much for keeping
man.
Mopar muscle, American muscle going, and we'll see you guys next time. That was wild.
Thank you.
Wow.
Appreciate it.
Next time on Between the Wheels.
This car's your passion. You know, you're just a regular guy here. You're living here in the suburbs. I don't think anyone knows there's a 70 Monte Carlo with a big block in there that races on the weekend, and that's what drives me.
Went and got a blood test. Next thing you know, I'm in hospital.
Like, you're a form of cancer. It's an incurable form of cancer. Now, mind you, it's controllable.
Try to do what you can because life is short and you never know when that Grim Reaper is going to come to your door.